Hey there everyone, Kay here on my homestead in Tennessee. Well, we got through Thanksgiving with Black Friday sales and everybody spent a lot of money. Not me, but a lot of people spent a lot of money, and now you still have more to do. You haven't decorated, maybe you have some gifts to buy still for people, and I submit that you buy used. There are so many wonderful used items that you can find in a variety of places. You can find them online through Marketplace and Craigslist and various things. But you can also find them at antique stores. Now, everyone that knows me well knows that I hate to shop. I'm one of the few women that absolutely, I loathe shopping, especially clothing shopping. You know, you go off in a stall and they put you in there with one thing or two things and they don't fit, and then they don't come back, and it's just, I just can't stand it. But I love old things. So we happen to have a wonderful antique store here, and I went in yesterday for one item, just one. I wanted to get a vase of some kind for my sweet Annie. Because when my brother and sister-in-law were here, I was saying, what do you think about using my sweet Annie? Now these are just two branches. Oh my gosh, that is so fragrant. Ah, I have a big one laying on the floor that is the size of a Christmas tree. But now it's been laying down for a while and it's kind of flattened, so it looks like a flat Christmas tree. It looks like this, kind of flat, like a fan, you know, but 5 times this size. And my sister-in-law said, well, and we both decided it's just too dry to put lights on and try to decorate with electricity. And so she said, just cut all the branches off and make some nice arrangements. And so that's what I decided to do. Now, I just don't happen to have that perfect tall vase. You know, many people have those just sitting around for the perfect opportunity for really big arrangements. I don't have that. So I thought, if you buy anything new now, it's a lot of money. In fact, this antique mall that I went into, it's not just an antique store where the owners have purveyed all of the goods in it. There are many vendors and they have different tastes and interests. And so they put their cubbyhole with those kinds of things. So you have a lot of variety to choose from. So I went in there and I saw a couple of tall things. She said they were new, so they were more expensive. And I thought, if you get a tall thing and you put it on then it's got to be on the floor. It's got to live on the floor. And my place is already really jam-packed. So I thought, well, let's cut this tree down to an arrangement and just have a nice, what is that? Hold on, damage control. Sorry about that. That was a stink bug. You never know where they're gonna pop up. So anyway, as you may know, I don't even have a dining room table and chairs. It's sad, but I don't. And being alone and doing all my seating and everything in here, I just keep using this. This table literally was in the garage in California, and we used it if there was a party or something, just to pull out and put food on or whatever. And so I thought, I'm not getting rid of that table. That table, and it winds up being my dining room table. So I thought, I could dress it up for Christmas. I have a beautiful wreath on my door, which is exactly these colors. And so I bought this tablecloth, which I know is going to fit on that. It's very wrinkled because she kind of wadded it up to put the other thing I bought in it. And so I need to iron it. But I just want to give you an idea of prices as I go, because they keep all the tags because they have to report back to their individual vendors. And I said, no, I don't want you to have to write all this stuff down. So, okay, the tablecloth is not here. But I know it wasn't over $12. So, okay, so I'm off to the races with a red theme. All right, so I'm looking around and I can't find any kind of a tall vase that for my arrangement. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to have to make 2 smaller ones. And especially after I found a couple of things. But before I get to that, I want to show you some of the other things that I got. Okay, I'm sure you're all familiar with Fiestaware, and I had seen this platter in there before, and the platter was $20, which I understand that's a very reasonable price. And then I happened to find these, and this is exactly the color, and I thought this was, and I'm going to show you when I set it all up. I'll point it down so you can see it better. And these were laid out in sets, and it's a coffee cup with the matching saucer and a dessert plate, or maybe a little salad or appetizer plate. They don't have the big plates, but I might be able to find those on Etsy, you know, because since Fiesta had these certain colors. And so I thought, okay, if I set this up on my table over there, I'll just get one of each color, you know? And it's sort of very, would you say 60s, I think? Maybe, or 70s? Certainly no later than 70s. So then I got a beige one. So all of these colors actually are in this tablecloth. And so I thought, oh, I'm going to have 3 ladies over for tea, or anybody, you know, over for tea. And then what I can do is I can make a nice little appetizer or dessert, depending on the occasion, and just serve it on my Fiesta platter. Isn't that cool? And she took the tag off, but I know it was $20, and it's exactly the same color as this. So that's that. Now I want to kind of scoot all this over. Let's go in for a closer look on this, and then I want to show you what my solution is for the Sweet Annie. But first, I happen to spot, I don't have any cloth napkins. Well, I probably do upstairs somewhere, but I haven't unpacked them and I don't know where they are. So these 7 napkins, 7 red napkins, cloth napkins, all in good condition, and the price was $5. I mean, come on. That's an excellent price. And I have been looking for bowls. You know, I have been in that store 2 or 3 times now, looking for, you know, substantial bowls, because, you know, I'm a big one-pot meal gal, and it could be stew, it could be just a big bowl of green beans, or a big bowl of oatmeal, or something. And for whatever reason, you know, I use these dishes that they're also vintage. What's it called? I'll think of it, but they're plastic, and the bowls that go with the set are like this big. You know, that won't do for a one-pot meal, one-dish meal kind of gal. So I finally found these. Now they don't match any of this, but I don't care. I got 3 of these substantial bowls. Which are stackable. We love that. We hate it when dishes don't stack, or when cups don't stack. And look. Now that is 70s. I am sure. We had the vivid greens, oranges, and everything all through the 60s, and part of the 70s, I think. And then the 80s, we started in with the more muted colors. And like and mauve would have been another color that was very popular in the 80s. Oh yeah, and then there's one other thing. I love this. I didn't even see that, but it has little hearts all the way around it, and I'll show you that stick up. The hearts stick up, and you know my birthday's on Valentine's, so that's cool. It's dishwasher and freezer safe, so microwave safe, so obviously This is a later piece, but look how cool this is. This is a chip and dip. How many times have you wanted to have a little dip and you want to have some chips and you've got to walk to your chair in front of your TV or in front of, I don't have one, but most people do have a TV, or in front of your fireplace for your chips and dip, and you've got two bowls and you're trying to balance two bowls, and see, you just put the little chips here and a little dip. It's so cool. So I thought, and this was, and of course it matches this, it's basically the same red that you have here. So that was $4. $4. I challenge you to go out and get something really cool. That would be a great gift, but I'm not going to give it away because I want it for somebody, you know, for $4. You'd probably buy some junk thing. I don't even know what you could buy for $4. Maybe a candy bar. So and I wanted to mention that the Fiestaware, this three-piece set, they were $8 a piece. And then this set was $15. So these are $5 a piece. I challenge you to buy something new that's in great condition, not chipped, nothing, for $5. You can't even buy like a cheap factory-made mug for that. I'm going to clear all this off, and then we're going to talk about the arrangements. A great way to save the Sweet Annie seeds is just to thrash your bush or branch on a very clean surface like this, and you will see that you're left with, and I could strip it too, and you're left with the chaff and the seeds, and it's hard for me to even distinguish the seeds, although there's a couple, from the chaff. So I just scoop it all together. I just cleaned this table, so scoop it all together, and then when you plant, just sprinkle the whole chaff and seeds together, and you'll have something to come up. And Sweet Annie is something that reseeds very easily. So because it's so light and fluffy, the wind blows the seed all over. So you have to kind of watch out for that. Okay, so I couldn't find the perfect tall vase. And so I thought, well, let me just get something pretty to put right here. It was on the bottom shelf in like a bookshelf. So underneath at the bottom, and it's an old building, so it's not that bright. And I just happened to catch a glimpse of it, and it had red and green candles in it, you know, the long candles. And so I didn't even notice until she got the candles out and it was sitting on the counter that it's translucent. So I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be so gorgeous sitting on this table with that light coming in the afternoon. Look at this. Can you see how the light goes through? And look, and this is the kind of thing that I could have all year, because look at the color of this furniture. So this is what you just call a stunning find, and it even looks like it could be from that era. Oh, you know what? It's a glisten mosaic vase, and now I am seeing that there's a crack in the bottom. Well, I wasn't going to put water in it anyway, and if I do, I'll put a little cup. But it's very pretty, and I thought, how perfect for the Sweet Annie. Now I'm going to arrange this. I'm not just going to stick this whole branch in here. But just imagine how pretty that's going to be. And then when it gets really full, which I'll take more branches from the other side, I happen to spot these Christmas balls. And because they're more of the burgundy and not that bright red like this, clashy red, and they're very light. You know, these glass balls are very light. And I just thought, I'm just going to put a few red glass balls in this, and it will, and the colors of this vase are kind of, it's more bronze. This will enhance that. So I bought these, and the balls were a grand total of $3.50. Now I dare say I could get a new set of 9 balls for that, unless they were on sale at Dollar General or something. The vase, believe it or not, and I guess that's because there's a crack in the bottom, $8. $8. I didn't just come home with one though, and because I thought, you know, I just like this. I'm going to show it to you, and I thought it would be really pretty with a smaller version of this, and that is this picture. Look at this beautiful picture. Is this not Farmhouse Delight? It's got a floral pattern that's in red, that's raised up from the surface, and then it's also got a pattern that looks very much like the garden to me, and I just thought it's lovely. And so this was marked down. This is actually got a name, and it's a flower design of spongeware. So I guess the way they did the overall coloration was with a sponge, a vintage, and that was $49, marked down to $29. So this is the most expensive item I bought. But anyway, I was just really happy with it, and I thought, look how cool. Look how cool it's going to be to have this sitting on this with any kind of flowers, or just with wooden spoons or anything, you know, just sticking in it would be really, really lovely. And I decided that I was going to make a commitment, try anyway. I'm bad about commitments, but try to make a commitment to put a tablecloth on that work table over there and not pile it up with a bunch of junk. Just imagine when the sun is coming bright through that window. Of course, I'm sure I could use it as a picture, although I would hate to. Well, I guess that's about it for the Antique Roadshow show. I hope you enjoyed this foray into shopping for Christmas decor and finding great deals at the local antique shop. So I encourage you to check that out. You know, you can get deals on Facebook Marketplace, but you can also, you know, maybe it's just one item they're selling and they want a lot of money for it. You go into a place like this and you get close to a holiday and they are ready to mark things down, to clear out things that have been sitting there for months. So I highly encourage you to do that, because I just feel like something that was handmade, well, I don't know if this was handmade, it probably wasn't, but something that has been used by someone else and loved, and maybe they passed away and the items get sold. I actually have more things upstairs that I have no place for. But what I didn't have was a vase. I went in there for a vase and I came out with so much more. And I really didn't spend that much money total. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this is helpful and entertaining and educational. And if you enjoy my channel, please subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, scroll down and click all so you won't miss anything right here on the homestead. I'm Kaye, and I'll see you in the next video.